The bigger key is the wide receivers have just got to play better. They need to make big plays. They need to make plays in the passing game with the wide receiver. I think Connor, the running game's got to get going too, obviously. But, Vance McDonald, I think, is your steady guy in the middle, and he'll be your safety valve or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just think you've got to be able to make some chunk plays and some, plays down the field. And to do that means your receivers have to get open. They've got to create separation. They haven't done any of that stuff this year.
Are we going to see any gadget plays? You think wildcats, some sweeps, double reverses, or something like that?
There'll be probably a couple of goofy plays. But, the wildcat, I think, without Jalen Samuels, how are you going to run it? Who's going to run it?
Can Connor run it? He told me he could run it, but is he as good as Jalen Samuels?
I mean, obviously he didn't. Did he run it in
I don't remember him running it at Pitt.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't remember him running it at all at Pitt. I just don't think he's that type of running back. I mean, you look at last year compared to this year, and the offensive line hasn't changed much. Yes, there's a different quarterback, but last year, James Conner was one of the top rushers in the NFL. Right now, he's ranked 35th, 3.3 yards per carry, 194 yards. Those aren't stats for an elite running back.
No, he's
not making guys miss.
He has not played well. He's not making guys miss. But the other part of it is they have not blocked well for him. That's been a problem.
So to more important matters, how come you didn't take part in my candy bar draft today?
But because Mark Cabali scolded me for having opinions on everything.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he said
he picked Twix.
He scolded me on having opinions, and then he gives his opinion.
I picked Kit Kat. I had the number one overall pick, and I said Kit Kat. Kit Kat was my number one overall
draft?
pick. Well, no, this isn't the draft, but then my buddy Dave Sherpan over in Vegas, he's a Vegas odds maker. Then he came up with odds. A sports book got a hold of this in Vegas and put odds on what is the best candy bar. I think they're taking bets. I don't know how they're going to win, but
Snickers is the best.
Snickers is 2-1, Kit Kat's 3-1, Reese's.
Snickers are, actually my favorite though are Twix.
I would take Nestle Crunch at 20-1. That's great value right there.
Yeah, well, that's a good candy bar, but again,
Mallow Cup.
My two favorites on that list are Twix and Snickers.
Mallow Cup.
Ugh, it's awful.
All right, let's go out.
Those things are awful.
Let's go out to
Almond
Joe.
Joy's awful.
I love Almond Joy. Joe out in Greensburg.
Awful.
What's up, Joe? Joe, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, I'm calling to find out what are they going to do as Hodges gets hurt. Who are they going to put?
All right, they got Paxton Lynch as the backup. Thanks a lot for your call, Joe from Greensburg. I appreciate it. We got Paxton Lynch. He's going to be. He was called up today. Well, I don't even know what the right term is. He was signed to the active roster. He was on the practice squad. Now he's with the big. He's with the big team. He's going to be going on the trip, and they're going to have two quarterbacks. If it gets to Paxton Lynch, Steelers are in trouble. So Steelers are in trouble right now.
First round pick.
You're right.
6'7" or whatever he is.
He's a big guy. I'm not a quarterback evaluator, but he has a weird throwing motion.
Revive his career.
Neil Huntington could probably do that.
Oh boy.
Let's go out to we're gonna out to Vernon in Homewood.
Why?
What's up, Vernon?
Why would you do that?
Neil Huntington. Go ahead, Vernon. Vernon, you there? Vernon. Are we having troubles with the phone? Vernon.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I'd just like to say that, Hodges has better college statistics than Rudolph does.
He played at Samford, Vernon. Samford.
Have
you ever heard of Samford? Not Stanford, Samford.
Yeah, but it's a lot of production, man. Just as much as Rudolph, you have to look at it.
Yeah, but Rudolph played against some really good competition. Duck Dynasty is a world champion duck caller, by the way.
So now we're going to compare.
All right.
Next caller, please.
Next caller. Who do we got? Bill McCandless. Bill McCandless. What's up, Bill?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. You made an interesting point, and I can't help but agree. The young quarterback that come in for the Steelers,
Duck.
He showed considerable poise. He had good feet, moved around. He seemed to have some vision. He scanned the floor. I was impressed with that kid. I'm looking forward to him maybe doing a hell of a job against the Chargers. The other mention quickly I was going to say is Mike Tomlin can coach, period. Someone made a point the other day, and I think it was you, Zeise, said that he'd have no trouble getting a job like yesterday.
Yeah, no question about that.
Well, how do you feel about that?
You know, there's no question he could get a job yesterday if he was out on the open market. I do not doubt that.
Yeah.
At all.
He would get a job, absolutely. You know, and here's the thing I think people need to understand. I don't know that the Steelers' job, you know, is the be-all, end-all job that people here still think it is. If Daniel Snyder comes and says, hey, we're going to give you a John Gruden contract, 10 years, $100 million bucks.
Golden pair.
Full control of the football operation. You mean to tell me he doesn't have to at least think long and hard about that?
He's from that area, the vicinity there. His
say,
son is playing at Maryland.
You know,
I mean,
yeah, there's a lot to you know. I mean, that much money on the table talks.
Yes, I agree 100%. I mean, look, I think Mike Tomlin's a good coach. The Steelers have done a lot of good things with him, but sometimes coaches wear out their welcome, no matter what it is, whether it's record or you kind of look at Clint Hurdle too. I mean, just. You know, everyone's tuned you out. I don't know if that's happening over the Steelers right now. I don't think it is, but that eventually happens. Everyone wears out their welcome at some point. So, you know, I don't know how much longer Mike Tomlin has. I'm saying that the Steelers aren't going to fire him anytime soon. Even if he only gets 4 wins this year, he'll be back next year unless somehow something happens with the Redskins or something like that.
I mean, but my point is there was a lot of people that acted like it was the most ridiculous idea in the world that he would leave the Steelers for the Redskins. I would be very careful with it.
$100 million talks, $15 million a year, whatever you're going to offer him, that talks.
I mean,
if it doesn't work out, I'm sure he could get a Monday Night Football analyst job.
Right. Listen, John Gruden was never going to come out of the booth. Remember that? Never coming out of the booth, happy to be making his $3 million a year, whatever he was making.
I think he was making like $8,
whatever,
$5 whatever it was.
$5-6 million.
Working 2 days a week.
And what happened?
He came out.
They gave him 10 years guaranteed.
$100 million.
$10 million a year.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll come coach.
All right, we're going to take a break. We got a lot more calls to take and more things to talk about. Stay right there.